all-time champions.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Nemesis Gaming League. We are here week 2, season 12, and we have ourselves the Novice League opener. I'm Jonas, now joined by the one and only Rockerman. We are getting set to go Diffusion versus Kiwis. This is going to be an incredible matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we lined up an absolute banger on the stream tonight, Jonas, to end things off here. We got the Novice League, we got the defending champions in Diffusion, new rosters all over the place here between these two teams, but it's Novice League. You never really know what to expect down here. There's always some chaos, some novice moments. We'll see them out there. All is up for grabs here. And starting off, they waited a week, while the rest of the teams played. Now they're here, ready to go. I'm sure the nerves are high, but I'm sure the excitement is also an all-time high as well.
Yeah, I mean these two teams historically have gone back and forth, all-time series differing 7-6 in favor of Kiwis. I mean they have gone back and forth for a long time here in Nemesis, and I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. Obviously, Diffusion, they're a scary looking squad in the reigning champs. Kiwis, I'm excited to see them once again. Beard for that team is a guy I've known for a several years at this point. I think starting my casting journey about 4 years ago is when I met Beard. So it's great to see him here in Nemesis. And that being said, players on the field, game 1, a fresh 5 on the clock. We're going.
Yeah, fresh 5 underway, and we didn't get to talk too much about these teams, but as we go on, we'll be seeing a lot of them there. And I know, Dronis, we did a little bit of a caster's workshop on one of these scrims with Dr. Shadow there, and he absolutely popped off. So he is my player to watch out for. His Beard as an opportunity, an open net, and he's going to send it in. And, well, maybe we could talk a little bit about him.
Well, I mean, the two players you've already mentioned are the ones pitching in. Dr. Shadow, that's just a huge 50 at the midfield, and Beard doing well to turn and put that one away. And obviously, since it is the Novice League opener, since it's the first week of play for these teams, they, it's a fresh record. It's a clean slate. This is where you can build that championship season, and everyone's in first place.
You gotta love when you're all in first place, and everyone gets a chance. The hopes are very high, the expectations are high. No matter what team you are, you expect that you can win it all. And I know each one of these two teams definitely expect they can win it all. And honestly, when I look at the rosters on paper here, Jonas, after the drafts, I circled these two teams because you got the defending champions, you got Div, SilverJ, Subzero, 3 great players, and then 3 great players on the other side, Dr. Shadow, Beard, and 975. So if these two teams aren't competing at the very end, I'll be very, very surprised. So a lot of expectations, and we'll have to see how they perform throughout the season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting, obviously, to kind of shake things off here in this first series that they have against one another. Obviously, both being 0-0. This is kind of their first looks as 975 will put one away. Top shelf, the 50 flying out middle, Dr. Shadow putting it up, and 975 knocking it down.
Yeah, and that's just the speed here from the Kiwis that we can see here. They are a fast team. We saw it, like I mentioned, we had a little bit of inside information we're seeing the scrim, but they are fast and they are ready to cook here. And 975, not a name I recognize here in Nemesis. I believe they're a rookie, but definitely showing up big right there, putting in a big first goal of the season.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team, they play with a lot of confidence, and that is pretty common. That is pretty common around Novice, but they earn it. And as we say, that Beard slots this one upper 90, perfectly slotted, and you cannot place it better than that.
Yeah, a little bar down ski as well right there. You're right, there is no more perfect shot than that one right there. Bar down over the top of 2 defenders, perfectly placed, and they're able to find a third already, and we're not even 2 minutes in, finding 3 goals. Definitely impressive from the Kiwis here, really starting out, trying to assert themselves in this early season.
Yeah, they're 3 for 3 as a team right now as well. They have not missed a shot, and also every single goal we've seen so far, Rockerman, has been assisted by Dr. Shadow. He has been the playmaker. He has been setting up Beard and 975, and well, they've been doing the rest.
I mean, when you got great shooters around you, sometimes that's all it takes. Just give a little setup there. And Shadow, he's no stranger to setting people up, trying to make plays there, able to do that big time right there. And halfway is this one, a big save from SilverJ, but here comes Beard trying to follow it, but he can't quite find the touch. But yeah, a big setup from Dr. Shadow. He is definitely a facilitator, the captain, the GM. He's definitely a leader on that team.
And we're going to be looking to see him a lot, not only in this series, but for the rest of Season 12 to come. And Beard looking to get something going on the sidewall, not able to, but ultimately, I think we're just looking for the reigning champs of Diffusion to find their first goal. Beard has a flick, Subzero can't keep it out, and Beard has a hattie here in Game 1.
Yeah, this is a great play, getting it by one and able to catch and flick, and I mean, just enough speed where Subzero can't get back to it. Nice goal and a hat trick from Beard. He's really popping off. Been in the Novice League for a couple seasons, and you know, so far this is the best I've seen him look there. And a great play there, a great shot, 4-0 lead here. Is this one going to be saved away by Beard himself? Another great play as Diffusion are somehow trying to mount an attack here, but only a minute 45 remaining.
Yeah, right now for Diffusion, Subzero is the only player to put shots on target in the first 3.5 minutes of this series. No one else from Diffusion has been able to get a shot off at all, and that obviously needs to change, especially with the high-powered offense we're seeing from the Kiwis as Dr. Shadow taking it downfield, looking for one more div. Will intercept, might have a look, loses control for a moment, wins the 50 towards the corner, 975 ready to deal.
Yeah, this one, I mean, a lot of time left here. Well, maybe not too much time left here for Diffusion, but, you know, for them, I just want to see them get something here in this one. I mean, like you mentioned, 975, the Kiwis, they've looked so good. It's been led by Beard, but I really need to see Diffusion try to find something in the back of the net here just to get some momentum as Subzero is putting around his own teammate there. Not what you want to see is here comes 975, putting that one in, the 5th goal. I mean, it's really just all Kiwis right now.
I mean, they're just so efficient. One mistake from Subzero getting that one downfield immediately. Beard to the corner, 975, top shelf, 70 miles an hour from point blank range. There's nothing you're going to be able to do with that as a defender. And 50 seconds left. The Kiwis, they're making a statement here in Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, they're not messing around. There's another one almost fired in the back of the net there. But yeah, these guys, they seem to be no joke here. And, you know, like I mentioned, taking on the defending champions, you know, they're really, you know, putting one uppercut to the jaw, if you will, here of this Diffusion squad. And how, like I mentioned, Diffusion, they just gotta find one to get in the back of the net here. You're giving up a lot of pressure. You know, they're not playing bad. I don't think necessarily. I think the Kiwis are just playing really good here right now. But you got to lock in on the defensive end, find some good touches, find some good rotations, and just find one in the back of the net here. And I think things will start to snowball a little bit more from there.
And I think it's just crazy to see the transfer again. You know, we've talked about seeing the Kiwis scrim in that caster's workshop, and in that scrim they looked good. They looked really good. They looked dangerous. They looked dominant, and we saw them working together as a team. We saw a lot of passing plays. We saw a lot of high scoring in those games. I didn't expect it to transfer this well into the actual Novice League because, I mean, this is a standout performance again. Beard 3 for 3, assisting 1 to 975 as well. 975 having a couple of goals. Dr. Shadow, of course, being that facilitator. This team is ready and rearing to go, and if they're able to keep up this pace, they are going to be a force all season long.
Yeah, no, they really are. And yeah, like you mentioned, it was Dr. Shadow that was putting all those goals when we were watching them, and Beard and 975 were putting goals in this one. So, I mean, it's a very good sign if you're the Kiwis here. And if you're Diffusion, you know, it is game 1. I mean, they went 5 for 7 shooting on you. You got to lock down on the defensive end and find some opportunities. Only Subzero with a couple of shots on net. Other than that, they were pretty much shut down. So heading into game number 2 here, Diffusion, you got to slow it down. You got to find your touches here, play smart, and find some good touches, and see if you can get one in the back of the net. Because once you do get one in the back of the net, like I said, I think things can start to snowball a little bit more once they finally find that first one. But you know, the pressure opening day for them, the nerves, you know, definitely a little bit high.
Yeah, I mean, there is that pressure. You know, you know, it's the Novice League opener. You're on stream. You're the reigning champs. You have that clean slate record, and you know it. Obviously, it's still just the first week. It's still just the first match, but sometimes it can kind of feel like everything is on the line in the moment, and it might very well for Diffusion. But it's all about taking that breath, really resetting. Going into this next game, you got to shake off that tough game one loss. Have that, have that short memory. You got to forget it, learn what you can from it, and move forward in this next one, because Kiwis, they're not going to slow down.
Yeah, no, they will not slow down. And there's one thing we've seen from them is they're going to keep the offense up. As SilverJ, oh my goodness, he's trying to hit one off the back there. Almost sent it in. But yeah, this Kiwi squad, they are no strangers to just slamming the offense and pushing it right towards your net there. We can definitely expect them to do more of the same. And Diffusion, I think they can find some opportunities to beat Kiwis on the overcommits here. You just got to find good touches and not find misses right there, as that one's going to ring off the post. Almost a great opportunity. Diffusion counting their lucky stars. That one didn't find the back.
Yeah, 975 just kind of rushed that shot a little bit throughout and couldn't quite put it away. Now Div, nice late touch through the corner. Beard will immediately sweep it away from Subzero. Find the clear downfield, already jumping up through the corner. Div, high pop. Look at the pre-flip touch out to SilverJ. Redirect through the midfield, trying to break back into the offensive side as Beard and DrxShadowx, they both win for it. SilverJ, low boost, is able to just narrowly put it off the crossbar. Beard going the wrong way. It will be just off target. Div trying to take advantage, finds a 50, but the Kiwis hold.
Oh my goodness, that one is so close on both sides. A couple of great saves, a couple of post hits going through there. And my goodness, I mean, Diffusion, they're lucky that they got away with that one. And on the other hand, Kiwi's lucky that Beard didn't put that one in the back of his own net. It did look dangerous, but they survived for now. And I mean, this is kind of what we're expecting in the Novice League. We'll see a lot of chaos for sure this season in the Novice League. And that one, almost a big goal. And still, Diffusion, I mean, comparatively, Dronis, I feel like they're doing a lot better than last game. I mean, I think they were down maybe 3 goals at this point last game. So heading to halfway, still 0-0. I think a lot better on the defensive end.
Yeah, 100%. They are looking much more stacked together, but only for a moment, as Beard will set up DrxShadowx, and he finds his first goal of the season.
Yeah, and it was only a matter of time there. Beard with a great little pass over DrxShadowx. Great speed, good composure to get up to that one and send it in the back of the net. And the Kiwis, once again, they strike first. We maybe a little bit of caster's curse there, as we were hyping up the Diffusion defense for a second, but the Kiwis, again, their offense cannot be denied there, and now Diffusion gotta lock back in and try to see if you can get any sort of offense, because it really just has not been there. So far in this series, it's been a lot of Kiwis here as a redirect attempt is trying to come through, but denied away.
Yeah, we're just looking for that first goal from Diffusion, and you gotta think that's gonna help to some degree. Not only, of course, starting to try and chip away at the lead that Kiwis have. One here would ultimately just quickly tie it up, but at least for the momentum, at least for the mental side of things, Diffusion, they need that first one soon.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, it's been almost 9 minutes of scoreless Rocket League here to start off the season, so they're desperate to try to find one in the back of the net, and that one almost is gonna go. But yeah, you really need it. You don't wanna get shut out any longer here. Just trying to find something in the back of the net. That one almost drops in. About a minute 30 remaining here. The pressure is still solely in Diffusion's end.
Maybe a look here for Div. He wants the double. It's on target. DrxShadowx. Big save. SilverJ flying in at 975. Collects another save. Diffusion. Some great looks, but still not able to find their first of the season. Subzero to SilverJ. He fakes it for Div. Gets the chip, but Beard makes the stop. Now Kiwis will not let them through.
Holy cow. What a defensive denial, and it turns into offense. Oh my goodness. The Kiwis, the brick wall defense, and then Diffusion, they get a little bit too aggressive. 2 players in the exact same spot. doing the same movement right there. And oh my goodness, that one is heartbreaking if you're Diffusion there, Drxshadowx, because it looked like it just one of those was going to go in. A couple post ringers there that just would not find their way through, and instead a counterattack goes the other way. And now you're looking at a 2-goal deficit here, and you're still looking for your first goal.
I mean, on a more positive note, they're getting closer, Ruckerman. That's all I have to say, and they're gonna find it. SilverJ will connect. Diffusion on the board for the first time here in Season 12. DrxShadowx awkward there. SilverJ takes full advantage, and Diffusion, now they cut the lead in half.
Yeah, now they're on the board here, SilverJ. Just what you expect from that guy to finally put one in. And yeah, Diffusion, they're on the board, 30 seconds, and as we all know, 1-goal lead is not safe in Rocket League, even when the clock hits 0. As long as that ball's still up in there, you got a chance. So Diffusion, the final 20 seconds here, let's see if they can mount something to try to steal away this game too.
Yeah, they're going to need to get that offense going as Beard will take SilverJ away, as DrxShadowx will clean Subzero off the pitch. 975 off the side. Well, maybe something here for Div. Sends it laterally across Subzero there, working his way through the corner. Gets the double. SilverJ trying to help out. Middle. Beard shuts it down, finds the clear. Div trying to keep it alive. It will fall in the corner. A much closer game number 2, but Kiwis stay out in front.
That one was a lot closer there from the Kiwis and Diffusion in that one. And Diffusion finally on the board there. That's what we wanted to see. It was a little bit later than we might have hoped for their sake, but they are able to find the back of the net there. And I mean, they had great offense for 8 shots compared to 4 for the Kiwis, so they actually outshot them in that game. It was just some insane saves led by DrxShadowx with the Savior medal in that one. So the Kiwis defense was as good as their offense was in the first 2 games here. So a great showing from them so far, as they're up 2-0. But Diffusion, they finally found one on the board here, and I just feel like DrxShadowx, they're going to come out here with the first one, and I think they're going to be a little bit of a different team than what we saw in the first 2 games.
I mean, it would be huge to see them get that early lead right from the beginning. It would be their first lead, of course, in this series, and hunting it down early would be huge for that momentum. Try and force Kiwis into more of an uncomfortable spot, because they've looked really comfortable. And this is a great look early, but the shot from Div off target. Beard will be bumped. Shadow will try and work his way out of the defensive half of Diffusion. Guns blazing here to open up game number 3, but come up short now. Maybe look for Subzero. One touch. Beard finds a block into the ceiling. Goes SilverJ, dives in, but blocked by Shadow.
Yeah, Diffusion again starting the offense. That's what I kind of expected from them after finding a goal in the last one. I think gaining that confidence a little bit, knowing, hey, these guys are fast, but we can be fast too, and we can put some opportunities on the net. And they were able to do that as Subzero finding a demo, and SilverJ with a big 50 trying to send it in, but Diffusion some great opportunities and a nice pass out Div to SilverJ, and there is the first lead of the series for Diffusion.
Yeah, ultimately Beard not able to get that one securely, and what a touch from Div back to SilverJ. Slots it bottom right. Diffusion on the board early here in game number 3. That's what they needed. Now we'll see what the dynamic is now. Kiwis, trailing for the first time. They got to bring it back. In Diffusion, they got themselves that lead. They no longer have to play from behind, but they can't get content. 975 left side equalizes.
Yeah, and I think I was doing a little bit of a mental caster curse there, DrxShadowx, because I was just thinking when you threw it back to me that I was going to say I feel like Kiwis are going to score really quickly to tie it back up with the way the series is going. And before I could even finish the thought in my head, the ball goes in the back of the net. So a tough one there for Diffusion. But the Kiwis, again, their offense is strong. A nice little play, a nice finish from them to get it past all the defense on that one. And now Diffusion, once again, got to try to find something there, but 975 is back just in time. But again, Diffusion, they have looked better in these last 2 games, which is definitely a positive showing.
Yeah, they really have, and we're starting to see the pace really pick up as well. In game 1, it was all Kiwis all the time. Diffusion, they were having to sit back. They were getting beat through the midfield, and they weren't able to do much with it. Now we're starting to see them answer, but Kiwis will pick up the lead, and they do it in a brutal way. It was a 3v1, and Beard wanted to make it a 3v0.
Yeah, that's a massive demo right there. And you saw Diffusion, that's a couple times now that we've seen him just blatantly double commit for, you know, just, I don't know if the comms just aren't there or what, but that double commit was more egregious because neither of the players made contact with the ball there, and it led the last defender in a very bad spot. You mentioned 3-on-1 into a 3-on-0 there. And, you know, we've seen the lead blocker play many a times here. It happened there. And Diffusion, they got to shut down those double commits. You can't be double committing against this Kiwis team that's so aggressive offensively. You know, you got to be solid. You got to, you know, beat them on the counterattack, and you got to beat them with a shot like that. Subzero, all the pass from SilverJ, able to tie it back up.
Yeah, we've hardly seen any mistakes on the defensive side like this, but DrxShadow, just a pure feels bad backflip in front of the net. Subzero doing a great job to be on that one, and Diffusion will tie it right back up again, really getting that offense going and needs to stay consistent.
That's the main thing. You got to be consistent here, and it's the hardest thing to do in the Novice League, Dronis. These are the differences between, you know, novice, prospect, moving up to challenger. Is, you know, these players, they play fast, they mostly know what to do, but the consistency is just nowhere to be found really. And if you can have a team that's consistent in the Novice League, you're gonna win a lot of games, because there's always gonna be some mistakes. And if you're consistent and, you know, ready and, you know, cutting down on your mistakes, you're gonna have some great opportunities to win a lot of games here in the Novice League. As Subzero makes a great save on the goal line.
Yeah, 975 wanted to be true striker there, just getting that one saved away. This one pitching middle from DrxShadow, and Beard and Div are locked in a rule 1, and they're broken out of it by Subzero. 975 locking down a double, no, just misses. Fall from Shadow, blocked by SilverJ. 145 left to go. Diffusion hold now, might have a look, a double whiff out in front, but a demo from DrxShadow will buy a little bit more space.
Yeah, there's been some chaos. I'm loving the demo plays. We got a lot of great demoers in the lobby there with Beard, Shadow. I mean, that Kiwis team, I know it's a lot of demos. There is a double commit. He's going to be forced out. And these demos can really open up space here in the Novice League. And with a minute 20 remaining right now, again, the pressure is on this Diffusion squad. There is Div with a big win. Is it going to go all the way? It's floating. And it's just going to find its way in. Div with the long goal. Diffusion back out in front. A 1:11 to play.
Yeah, Beard dove in his third, had full confidence in that 50, and Div went straight through him. It just trickles all the way in, and Diffusion back out in front. The lead's being traded here in game number 3. Kiwis, they got 70 seconds to try and take it back.
And the time is now their enemy here in the Kiwis, but a big demo and looking for some more bumps as they're trying to put it in. But I mean, the Kiwis, they've had their great offense here so far, so I expect them to get at least 1, maybe 2 more tries. Diffusion will really want 1 more as a big save comes through, like give themselves a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, you want to try and find that next one, and they will. Subzero threading the needle for Diffusion, puts it perfectly bottom left. No one could find an early touch, and Subzero all the way there.
Yeah, and that's just a great play, able to slot it in, and just what the doctor ordered here for Diffusion. A blanket there, security blanket as they find that one in the back of the net. And now up by 2 with 30 seconds left. You can be a lot more passive on the offensive end, but they don't want to be passive. Subzero, he wants a hat.
Yeah, and he is going to get the hat trick here, and what a turnaround from Diffusion. The pressure and the confidence now stepping up big time for the reigning champs, and the Kiwis, they seem a little bit shell-shocked here, Rockerman.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting this offensive explosion from Diffusion, but like I kind of mentioned in game 1 and game 2, it wasn't that Diffusion was playing bad. It was just the Kiwis were just so quick, so fast. And you know, now the Diffusion has won a couple of these balls in the midfield, won a couple of the pressures into the zone. I mean, that's the score change right there. That was the big difference. in this game. And the last one is DrxShadow, a big body 50, but a big save by Div to try to close out this game as Diffusion on the defense, denying anything from the Kiwis. And well, they're gonna send us to a good old Novice League Forbidden Temple as Diffusion comes through with that Game 3 victory.
Yeah, game number 4 on the horizon, and what a way to get there if you're Diffusion. Again, this just being a complete turnaround. Again, the aggregate scoring going through the first 2 games was 7-1 favoring the Kiwis, and now we see a 5-2 game in favor of Diffusion. That is one way to not only keep the series alive, but propel yourselves with a lot of momentum and a chance to turn this whole thing around. The reverse sweep is a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a possibility, Jonas. And if Diffusion can play any way like they did in that last game there, I think we might be heading to game 5. But it's going to be very tough because we saw in the game 1 and game 2, again, it's that Kiwis offense. It's so aggressive, so suffocating. Diffusion had a hard time breaking out. They were able to do that in that game 3, but I expect Kiwis to really lock things down here heading into game 4 and just try to just close the door and end it in on Forbidden Temple here.
Yeah, they still had a lot of great looks. They're going to need a save early. 9-7-5 up to the Taz's Div. Wanted to pick one up in the first 10 seconds. But yeah, you got to feel that they're going to be able to figure it back out again. We were looking at a 2-1 scoreline earlier in game 3, and then Diffusion put away 4 in a row to take that game. I don't think the Kiwis are going to let that happen again.
No, I really don't think it's going to be a blow. If Diffusion can find a win in this one, it's going to be very close as that one. Subzero, another great save. Diffusion, their defense is looking good, but yeah, the Kiwis are going to be so aggressive as another shot is coming in through. They're just ringing them towards the net. Subzero, another save, and there is that aggression from the Kiwis. And now Diffusion got to try to turn it around into offense. Use that aggression against the Kiwis, catch them on the overcommits, and put some goals in the back of the net.
And now Div trying to work his way through. DrxShadow the clear. SilverJ needs to be careful. That he is. Gets up in time to shut down the shot. Now might have himself a big clear. He does. Far side 9-7-5. We'll try and turn it right back around. Subzero sidewall. Who's up? It's Beard. Shot on target. SilverJ coming out of nowhere to send that one high and away. And now he'll have the clear.
I mean, where did he come from? Where did he come from, Jonas? I'm looking at the other 2 defenders jumping, and all of a sudden he comes flying from out of the screen, and he just makes the save. And thankfully he did, because that one probably would have went towards the net there. As again, the demos reign, but Diffusion, their defense, it's rock solid right now. But again, you got to turn it into offense here. You just got to find one. Put the pressure onto the Kiwis here by putting one at the back of the net. As DrxShadow is demo hunting once again, and that one saved away.
Yeah, this is turned into a bloodbath here, Ruckerman. We are seeing physicality and demos and bumps where they're not even needed. That shot wasn't even on target. DrxShadow just dove in the net looking for the demo as the scoreline will stay 0-0 through the first 2 minutes of play. Div downfield shut down by 9-7-5, who already has 3 saves in this game.
He's put up 3 big saves, as this one might be a bad touch there, but DrxShadow is going to get back to it. SilverJ off the back foot. Subzero trying to get to it, but it's cleared away. And it might be a little bit of a counterattack here, and there it is. Beard is going to send it in, and finally the Diffusion defense is going to break.
Yeah, just a bit of an overextension, trying to find that early challenge, and Beard goes from just narrowly own goaling to all the way back downfield. Will put the first one away for the Kiwis here in game number 4. Half this game to go. Still plenty of time for either of these teams to take control.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. And what else do we expect from the Novice League on Forbidden Temple? The craziness here. A near own goal to a team up to a shot attempt, but it's not going to go. I mean, again, the Novice League and Forbidden Temple, it is a deadly, one of the most deadly combos in all of Nemesis right there. You get these 2 combos and you're going to be in for some craziness. And Diffusion, once again, they find themselves on the back foot, but I feel like they have been the aggressors in this game on offense, and they just got to keep with it here, keep putting the shots on net, and I think eventually they can then break through this Kiwis defense.
Yeah, they've had a lot of solid looks. They just got to find that one. This one might drop in. No, narrowly kept out. Subzero could not break through Beard and Dr. Shadow. This one lobbed up. Shadow wins it towards the backboard. Beard has got to be lurking. That he is. Lobs it up. 975 is there. Wants to put it away. No, he misses. Beard lobs it high. Dr. Shadow now up the clear made by Div. 975 immediately turning at the midfield. Lobs it up again. Shadow misses. Beard backboard. No, double. Another 50 coming through. Kiwis trying to do everything they can to press forward and get a second now. Have to defend. Dr. Shadow there for the save.
Yeah, the offense was a big threat there, but again, Diffusion, their defense has been very good, but it's defense on both sides that's winning this game right now. And the Kiwis, they just have the better defense at the moment as they're continuing to put on the offense. But with a minute remaining here, again, Diffusion gotta get things going a little bit. But a big mistake, SilverJ gonna save it on the goal line, and that one not gonna go either. And my goodness, I don't know how these balls keep getting saved out of here, Dronis. But with the time ticking down, Diffusion, they gotta try to go all out here.
Yeah, there's a total of 14 shots in this game now, right now, Rockerman, and we have a 1-0 scoreline, which is absolutely insane as this shot will go wide. Div pops it on target. Shadow narrowly finding a touch out. Beard is there. The counterattack ensuing. There's no one left. Kiwis take a 2-0 lead and only 30 seconds separating them from picking up a season opening dub.
Yeah, and again, it's Diffusion. They're trying so hard to put that aggressive offense, and under a minute, I understand it. You're trying to go all in, trying to make these plays, but they just didn't quite find the touch that they were looking for, and that allowed the Kiwis to counterattack. As SilverJ, whoa, wait a minute, he's trying to drop that one down, looking for a teammate, but not gonna go, and 20 seconds remaining. It's Hail Mary time.
Yeah, they got to give it everything they've got, but Beard will shut it down. The nail in the coffin as he picks up his second hat trick of the series. 975 left to middle, and Beard took care of it.
Yeah, you leave it up to Beard, and a great place shot there from him, able to get it right around the defense, and that's going to secure a win for them in this series here. But Diffusion, I mean, they really just gave it their all. I mean, this was a crazy back and forth series in the Novice League. I'm excited for when we're going to get to see these two teams again, because if this is anything for how the Novice League is going to look this season, it is going to be very exciting, because these guys went back and forth, and all series long, just shots, saves, anything you might ask for in a series right there. These two teams provided, and the Kiwis going to be walking away the victors in this.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great adaptation from Diffusion after Game 2. Game 3, it looked like they might just go down in a sweep, and they had themselves an incredible comeback game in that third. Unfortunately, could not get it done as the Kiwis went right back into that rhythm that they were able to find. And again, a great showing from this team, and they are going to be dangerous. They're going to be looking to make that playoff run. They're looking to make a championship run.
Yeah, no, I mean, they are probably the early favorites if I had to guess, especially after picking up this win. You never really know what to expect, coming into the first match of the season here. But I mean, the Kiwis, they looked like a really good team, and they went out and proved it against another team that looked like they were going to be really good. So Kiwis are all eyes are going to be on them this season. See what they can do. So we keep an eye on the rest of the Novice League, but they have definitely got our attention right now.
Yeah, they definitely do. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on them. Diffusion again, they still had themselves some good looks. They started off slow again, getting shut out 5-0 in that game 1, but then they brought it back in game 2, made it a 1-goal game. Game 3 they took, and then game 4 Kiwis were able to lock it back down. But still, Diffusion, one of the top teams in the Novice League, they're still gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, they really are. You can't count them out. It is the first match, like we mentioned. A long season to go, so a lot of room for improvement. And I think Diffusion. I think they're going to be just fine. I think they're going to be definitely a team competing when we get to the postseason. We'll see how the rest of the season goes and see what they can do.
Yeah, I would very, very much expect to see both these teams back. That being said, that is all we have for you all tonight. We are going to be back on Wednesday, the 21st, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern, a Titan match to kick it off, an Inferno versus Nebula. That is going to be a lot of fun, but it's been Jonas and Rockerman signing off. We'll see you Wednesday.